When it comes to our drainage systems, we hardly think of what gets sent down our drains, from food to waste and everything in between. You would expect nothing really out of the ordinary.
What are you doing in the sewer?
The storm blew me away.
However, in some drains and sewers around the globe, there are some seriously strange things lurking underground.
Just when you thought you've seen everything.
Hello and welcome. In today's video, we will be diving in and counting down top 15 strangest things ever found in the drainage systems. You'll want to stick around for our number one pick because it will blow you away. Now, let's get right into the video. Number 15. Gators in the sewer. This strange sewer find comes from the great American state of Florida, known for amusement parks, warm, humid weather, outrageous news stories, and alligators. There's no surprise that the state of Florida has made an appearance on our list today. This story is so strange, you might have to listen to this twice just to believe it. In a neighborhood in the state, some residents were growing upset due to a pretty bad backed up drain and nasty smell that was troubling the area. When officials came to investigate these complaints, they were more than surprised at what they discovered. In the drain was a shocking 11-foot long rotting alligator in the system. This is quite appalling considering that alligators generally only get to be about 4 feet in length. The giant gator was removed from the drainage system by an excavator, and the whole community was met with a very puzzling question: how an 11-foot alligator found its way into the sewers, dead. Every way you try to imagine this scenario, it gets harder and harder to figure out the mystery. But the officials in Fort Myers, Florida pretty much solved the case. There are always gators in our canals and the Whiskey Creek Lake, but with all the fresh rainwater, this one must have made a wrong turn into a drainage pipe, said Whiskey Creek resident Tracy Galloway. Believe it or not, these city officials also confirmed that gators in the drains are not actually that rare. They stated that they find an alligator hiding in their sewer about twice a year, just never quite as big. Number 14. A car. We are probably all familiar with the hilarious antics found in Mr. Bean's films, especially him fitting inside that tiny Mini Cooper. However, the imaginations and the creativity of the movies can come to life, especially when it comes to the sewers. Mini Coopers may be small, but they aren't that big. But in London, England, the car was actually found in the sewers. Okay, slight exaggeration. It wasn't a whole Mini, but half of the famed vintage car was found blocking a sewer. Officials were more than surprised to make the discovery of half a car within the drainage system. No one is completely sure how the car made its way into the sewer, however. One could rumor that due to the very difficult parking situation in the city of London, maybe they were simply just looking for a parking space and decided to park underground. Number 13. Pompeii Sewer Discovery. For all the history buffs watching, you are going to love our number 13 pick. The Roman Empire was known for many incredible advancements in city planning, especially in the city of Pompeii's sewer system, which can still be somewhat operated today to this very day. The sewer system and the studying of it, however, brought about quite the insane discovery. In the drains of Pompeii, scientists and archaeologists found a giraffe leg in the drains. Yep, you heard that correctly. The giraffe leg is said to be the only giraffe bone ever recorded in all of Roman Italy, making one of the archaeologists wonder how it got there in the first place, since giraffes generally do not find themselves in Europe. Some are stating that the giraffe legs was proof that the Romans enjoyed feasting on giraffes as part of their lavish menu. The giraffe was actually the first giraffe to ever step foot in Italy, and was brought to the empire by none other than the famous emperor Julius Caesar. Unfortunately for the giraffe, the Romans, after keeping the giraffe in captivity as a sort of pet, decided that they would eat the animal and then flush the leg bone into the toilet. What do you guys think about this? I just don't think I could eat giraffes for dinner. Number 12. A fugitive. If you didn't know, fugitives in drain systems are a pretty common occurrence. As you could probably imagine, hiding in a sewer or drain is a perfect way to make sure that no one can find you and get away with whatever you are hiding from. I mean, It is a pretty decent hiding spot too, as all sewer systems connect throughout the city, allowing you to tunnel your way to safety and succeed in avoiding the law. However, sometimes things are just way too good to be true, and you end up as the butt of the joke. This was certainly the case for Robert Jana, as the 24-year-old was found in a drain in Oklahoma City. The young man was escaping U.S. Marshal and local police. They found him eventually in the drain, and although a decent hiding spot, the end result of Jana was pretty embarrassing, as he was stuck in the drain and had to be rescued before he could be arrested. Needless to say, no matter how tempting it is to try and hide in the drain systems, you can save some major humiliation and panic if you pick a hiding spot above ground. Number 11. Clowns in the drain. Anyone who has read or watched Stephen King's infamous story of It knows that clowns seem to enjoy hanging out in sewers. The famous clown Pennywise spent a great deal of time in the drain, always chanting his famous line, "You'll float too." Clowns and sewer systems go hand in hand. However, you would not really expect to see one unless you have transported it into the movie It. However, after a pretty spooky experience with a clown, one YouTuber can check finding a clown in the sewer off his bucket list. This popular novel has seemed to inspire a few copycats, as the YouTuber was filming a video and discovered a clown hiding in the drains. To make things even more creepy, just like Pennywise, this clown also had with him a single red balloon. Now naturally, with all YouTube videos, there's a chance of this being a prank. However, just the video alone will certainly creep anyone out. In 2016, so many clowns were spotted around the world, so it is safe to say that this clown just might be one of them. It doesn't make it any less scary though. If you see a clown in the sewer, what would you do? Leave a comment down below. We would love to find out. I hope you run away. Number 10. Flushed goldfish. Kids across the world have always had cute little goldfish as pets, and these goldfish pets, unfortunately, never seem to last that long and end up passing away and marching straight to the toilet to get flushed down the drain. Such a common practice has led to some interesting situations, as some goldfish are not actually completely dead when they get sent to the bowl. In fact, a few goldfish in Australia's sewers have managed to survive their new sewage environment and have grown to unbelievable sizes. Some goldfish in the area were reported to have grown up to 20 times larger than that of a normal goldfish size. Researchers at a university in Perth discovered one goldfish who managed to grow at a weight of nearly 2 kilograms. This is starting to become a serious problem for the ecosystem in Australia, as these fish are eating other species' eggs, stirring up sediment, and spreading a disease that affects the skin of native fish. Scientists at the university have decided that it is time to find another method of disposal of these little orange fish, as the drain is proving to be a bit of a dangerous place to release the fish. That is, unless people are ready for giant mutant goldfish. Did anyone know that goldfish could even get that long and heavy? Leave a comment down below if you did, because we certainly did not. Before we move on, here's a quick challenge for you. If you can leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and turn on the notifications in less than 5 seconds, you will have 10 years of amazing luck. Hurry up and try it. It actually works. Number 9. Gold. In a sewer, you would probably only expect to see trash, waste, and in general, things that you do not really want to see above ground. However, in this entry, we are going to look at a situation in which in the sewers there was something quite valuable, and that valuable item was gold. In Japan in 2009, workers at the Suwa treatment facility in Nagano were stunned to discover 5 million yen in gold from the sludge that they were processing, due to the large number of precision equipment manufacturers in the vicinity that were making use of the metal. This unbelievable event was very surprising for the workers, as the amount of gold they found was a better find than that of even the most incredible mines. When you calculate all the exchange rates, the gold equates to almost 35,000 pounds, with 1,890 grams of gold retrieved per ton of ash from incinerated sludge. This is clearly not a normal thing to find in the sewers, and certainly something that these workers will remember for a very long time, don't you think? Number 8. lots of worms. In 2009, while exploring with a sewer camera underground in North Carolina, these explorers had a video go absolutely viral, and for a pretty strange reason. On their video footage, you could see a creepy, gross, pulsating creature that attached itself onto the walls of the drain. Of course, this video and how viral it was created tons of speculation regarding what that creature really is. Such conspiracy theories like Loch Ness monsters, alien life forms, new species of aquatic life, and a marketing ploy to promote a new sci-fi movie are just the tip of the iceberg to the many theories people had come up with. However, after a long period of investigation, scientists were actually able to give the world the answer that everyone was practically begging for. Scientists confirmed that the pulsating gunk was actually a huge colony of tubifex worms. Not exactly the wild creature people were speculating for. City officials stated that the worms live in sewage and pond sediment and seem to respond to the light of the camera. The worms are commonly used as live fish bait and probably found their way into the sewer by accident. With all of the soil and sediment in the drain, the worms were able to form the huge slimy and gross-looking mass that you see in the video. So as it turns out, this situation is not as extraterrestrial as people once believed it to be. These worms, no matter how normal they are still very gross to look at, and an even stranger thing to discover in a drainage system. Number 6. Mastodon bones. Next up on our list of the strangest things found in the sewer, we take you to a pretty unbelievable story in Indiana. The sewage line installation process was beginning near a farm in the state. While the digging and excavating process went underway, a ginormous discovery was made by some of the workers on the site. These workers found something quite historic to say the least, as they unearthed the fossilized bones of a mastodon that likely stood about 9 feet, 2.7 meters tall. Mastodons were prehistoric relatives of today's elephants. Unlike modern elephants, however, mastodons had much smaller ears and foreheads and were covered in a thick layer of brown hair. The American version of these massive prehistoric beasts went extinct nearly 10,000 years ago, and these sewer installers were lucky enough to come across some of the fossils. The bones the workers found included a large amount of a tusk, some pretty big teeth, part of a skull, and to go with the teeth, a jawbone. This is both a great discovery for the science of paleontology and a strange thing to find in the location of a soon-to-be sewer system. All of these amazing findings have been donated to the Indiana State Museum for further research and preservation. Number 5. A FATBERG. Next on our list is actually something that you would expect to find when exploring a sewer: waste. However, the waste we are going to be talking about is far from your ordinary. In England, near a seaside town in 2019, the residents were faced with a bit of clogging in the drain. When officials came to investigate what was causing the problem, they were met with a gigantic amount of waste called a FATBERG. A FATBERG is a rock-like mass of waste matter in a sewer system formed by the combination of flushed, non-biodegradable solids, such as wet wipes, and congealed grease or cooking fat. As you can imagine, a FATBERG is not necessarily something new to modern society with the abundance of trash. However, this particular FATBERG was certainly something to marvel at. The trash mass was, as Southwest Water reports, 210 feet long, which makes it longer than the height of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, more than 13 end-to-end Hummer H2s, and 42 feet longer than the White House. It was the largest FATBERG the sewage team had ever seen in all of their service history. The images that this FATBERG produced were less than appealing, and all the more very strange. It took a combination of high-pressured water jets, shovels, and pickaxes to slowly work away at the giant mass. This trash mass weighed tons and smelled just as bad as it looked. Definitely something I would never want to be anywhere near. I feel quite sorry for anyone who had to touch that humongous mound of waste. Number 4. A rave. So far on this list, we have discussed the findings of clowns, prehistoric animals, and gold. But for our next entry, we have something stranger than nearly all of those things combined. Instead of using the sewer system for what it was intended for, or even as a hiding place, a group of over 200 people in Newcastle, England in 2017 decided to use the sewers as part of their own party destination. You heard us correctly. 200 people traveled throughout the sewers to find a dry spot in the area where they could set up and enjoy a rave. Organized through Facebook, The group set up lights and a sound system and started to party on. However, one raver felt that the drainage system was getting a little bit too cramped and dangerous and decided to call the police. This phone call led to the whole world finding out about the hidden rave. Police officers were not too pleased about the event and the dangerous mixture of drunken adults and an endless tunnel of sewage. Needless to say, those police officers have probably never broken up a party quite like this one, and I would also assume that you have never heard of a rave in a sewer. Number 3. Farm animals. Number 3 on our list is yet again something quite strange in the drains, and this time, what was found in the drain was very much alive. City officials in Australia were absolutely shocked to find a living sheep roaming throughout the drain pipes. The sheep was certainly lost from its home and was all alone in the sewer, much to the mystery of the city officials. People are unsure of exactly how something like this would occur, considering how larger sheep can be. Another similar case of farm animals was a cow in the sewers of the Fujian province in China. The cow was missing from its farm for about 4 days before a passerby heard a strange mooing sound and sent over people to investigate the pipes. That is when a cow was discovered alive and well in the drainage systems. How did such a big animal make its way into the sewer? People are still quite stumped. Number 2. A community. You've probably read about it in sci-fi books or heard about it in urban legends and conspiracy theories. However, people living in the tunnels of the drainage system is actually a reality. In Las Vegas, a place generally known for gambling and living it up, the city is also known for being very, very hot, and due to that heat, heavy rainfall plagued the area with floods. To combat the flooding, the city constructed a series of tunnels and drains to remove the rainwater. These tunnels are quite big, stretching about 1,600 kilometers. However, the city was not expecting to provide living accommodations for the homeless people of the area. The tunnels were sadly the only source of shelter for some of the homeless in the area, even though in the sewer, the threat of rainwater was pouring in. When it rains, the tunnel people risk losing everything they possess, including their lives, to the floodwaters. No one knows for sure how many people live underneath Las Vegas, though they are thought to number in the hundreds. Before we look at number 1, we have a little challenge for you. Go ahead and like this video and comment down below. We want to see if you can balance the number of likes against the number of comments. And go!
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Be sure to check out other amazing videos on our channel, and give us a like if you enjoyed this video so far. Tell us in comments which one of these you like the most and why. Number 1 subscriber pick, Giant Rat. We have finally made it to our number 1 entry, and it is handpicked from a loyal subscriber. Thank you so much for contributing this photo and story. It is truly the strangest thing ever to be found in the sewer. That hairy statue is by far the strangest thing I have ever seen. Let's take a look, guys. In Mexico City, while the workers of the area were cleaning nearly 22 tons of trash from the sewage pipes, they were met with a shocking discovery, as they found an incredibly lifelike giant creature. The creature had fur and little claws. As you all can see in the photo, this looks to be none other than a giant rat. And it was, sort of. The workers did a little bit more investigating after finding the rat to discover that it was simply just a Halloween prop. However, it begs the question, how did that even end up in the drains? A woman named Evelyn Lopez came forward to claim ownership of the prop, in which she states that she owned the prop and it got washed away from a harsh storm. Nevertheless, this drain system discovery has to be the strangest thing ever found. And that concludes our top 15 strangest things found in the drains. Which of these things shocked you the most? Be sure to comment down below. And if you like this video, you should definitely check out the video on your screen right now.